Alright guys, here we go. We got a long one versus Maple here. He sends out an Azelf, I send out a Gyarados. So, whether it's, I don't care what type of Azelf it is, I gotta switch. And so I'm gonna go to Blissey, which is pretty obvious, but I'm afraid of the explosion, so I'm thinking already I don't want to stay in with Bliss, and I want to see what it can do. So, I'm gonna go to Fortress immediately, just in case it wants to explode. So, I don't know if it's like Focus Sash, Nasty Plot, Scarf, or whatever the hell it is. So I switched to Fori, and he switched out as well. So that leads me to think that he's Scarfed. I'll set up a Stealth Rock so I can get something going on, and he Whirlwinds me away. Out comes my Dugtrio, which sucks because it's nice to have those guys as a sneak surprise. But it didn't happen that way. So I go out to Locust here. It's a new guy I really like, and I was hoping to scare it away before it set up too much stuff. And I hit him with the Hidden Power. I figured he might stay in for one, but he did, and then nails me with the Brave Bird, which really hurt. I was not happy about that. So I'm predicting it to switch now, and I'd love to use Pursuit on it, because that would be so freaking cool, but I'm just not going to. I'm going to use Bug Buzz instead. And it does some pretty decent damage to the Ape as well, so that's good for me. Or not the Ape. Freaking, I saw the name Ape and I said Ape. Anyway, and I want to try and get that thing asleep because I know it sets up Toxic Spikes, and I can't afford to have that happen. So I'm just gonna try and get it to sleep, which I did, which was which was freaking cool. Anyway, I switch out to the Renegade again because I wanted to trap it and hopefully finish it off. And unfortunately, he switched as well. So I don't know if he packs Ice Beam. Because of that, I don't want to stay in. I want to go to Tangrowth, but again, if he's got Ice Beam, I can't. So I go to this guy, hopefully make him think I'll explode, hopefully make him think I'll set up Toxic Spikes, even though this one does neither. So that's what I'm hoping right now. And what does happen? I forget what he does. I forget what he does. I forget what I do too. So let's just see. Skarm comes in. That's cool. I thought I already said... Oh, there we go. Rapid Spin. Wait a minute. Is that why? Oh my god. That's why. That's because I thought I got rid of his spikes like later on in the match, and I was so upset. And that's why, because it didn't hit anything. So that Death Fodder was huge for him. I didn't even realize that till now. That sucks. No wonder. Anyway, I predicted Fire Fang, and I was going to rest on it because I figured I would live, but he ended up using Fire Blast, so that sucked. It finished him off. I go to Gira and I get a sub up. And I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking he's got a Scarf Chomp, and I think he's got a Scarf Azelf. So even if I sub down with get it Salic or Dragon Dance up, I'm still not going to outspeed everything. So I'm going to just have to hit it and just get out of here. Hopefully I can finish it off. So, I mean, if this thing wasn't Scarf, then I would definitely have Dragon Danced on that sub and then finish it off, but wasn't able to. So the Azelf lives, which sucks. And I have to switch out to my Bliss to take the thing. I could go to Dugtrio, which is actually what I do instead. So, which further makes me feel like it's not Scarf, or like it is Scarfed. Sorry. Anyway, I wish I had Pursuit, because Pursuit rapes Gengar and Azelf, who fear everything else that Dugtrio has. So it is actually a viable move on him, but whatever. I didn't want to use EQ, so I went with the Stone Edge. It missed. Not too big of a deal. Actually, that might have changed something later on, but whatever. Went to Locust just as Death Fodder to figure out what move it wants to do. If that Stone Edge hit, I would have HP Iced immediately, but because I don't think I'll kill it, even though he's got special attack EVs and it's HP Ice, I think his Chomp has a lot of HP, so I go with Leech Seed first, because I'm assuming that I'll 2-hit KO if I just use HP Ice, but I figure if I'll Seed, then I'll kill it in one, and I'll gain a little bit back too. So I go with that. And then, thankfully, he's still stuck on Outrage, and I'm actually able to HP Ice him out of the way. And down he goes, and he makes a sad face, and I make a happy face. Oh, snap. So, he brings in, I think he brings in Bliss? He brings in Azelf. Now, at this point, I don't want it to explode, predicting Blissey. I don't want it to do much of anything. So, at this point, I'm just accepting Tangrowth to die. Like, that was the plan. And he U-turns out, which was unbelievable, because that move was unbelievable. Like, it was amazing. I couldn't believe it. So now I get a Leech Seed on his Bliss, which is freaking amazing as all hell. And now my Tangrowth is going to live. It was this close to being dead. I had I was gonna let it die, and here it is, kicking some butt. So I already got my seed up. I figured there's no real reason to sleep. I can't sleep him because Tentacruel is still asleep, but it's no longer asleep. And now I got some more leech seed up. So I predict the switch, and I get something asleep, which is cool. Even if I got Blissey asleep, I would have used it again, because figuring he'll switch then. So I got the thing asleep, which is funny, right after he used aromatherapy to wake it up. So, and then he withdraws, goes back to his elf, which dies from the stealth rock, which is cool. But unfortunately, I tried to trap his Tentacruel again, and it didn't work. So there I go, taking more spike damage. And in mid-game, I was like, why am I taking spikes? I thought I used Rapid Spin, and now I know why. So that's interesting. Anyway, I don't want to stay in here because I can't 2-hit KO that thing, or not. I could 2-hit KO, but I can't 1-hit KO it, and I want that freaking Dugtrio for later. So it soft boils as I switch in, and I plan to just rinse and repeat as normal. It needs to aromatherapy, so I know I've got a turn to do whatever I want before I need to worry about sleep. So that way I can get a leech seed up, and now my freaking Tangrowth is back up to full, which is amazing because I condemned him like he was going to die. He was a meat shield for his elf, and here he is back at full HP, kicking ass. He was the MVP. Anyway, S tosses, and I figured he wouldn't switch this time, but I couldn't really risk it, and I had nothing else to do anyway, so I just put it to sleep. So be it. It goes away to sleep, and now I'm praying to the Pokemon gods up there that it's not Serene Grace, because I'm going to sleep again. It switches out, and you can see right there, well, in slow motion, how like none of those were dimmed in, so I knew then that it was Natural Cure, and I get this thing asleep again, which is epic, because if he gets a layer of Toxic Spikes up, I'm done. That's GG. So he switches out, goes to the Mitgar, which I hit with the seed as well. I don't know if he well, I guess there's no reason to use Sleep Powder there, so I don't know if he would have predicted that, but whatever. Anyway, I get a Leech Seed up, which is nice, because I know it's sub, and I know it's got Life Orb. So with Leech Seed, he'll just kill itself. But I went out to Bliss anyway, because this Bliss can take one of those, so especially with Leech Seed going on, because you can either just soft boil every turn, or I happen to have Shadow Ball on this one. So I go back to this thing, because I gotta get that thing out of there. And I'm thinking to myself, if I can get a Leech Seed up, and then switch back to Dugtrio, he'll be trapped, and that'd be amazing. But I didn't have time for that, because he already aromatherapied, so I had to use Sleep right there. It missed, which is funny. He had a sad face. He T-Waves me, and I get Parahaxed, so that sucks, because now I'm afraid he's going to win by hacks, which is just a royal bummer. Anyway, he goes to that thing, and I slept again, and it landed, which is woot for the win. So I forgot about this thing's ability, and I figured I'll just stay in and let it die. So I Leech Seeded up, and forgot about Liquid Ooze entirely. It still takes damage though, I just don't gain any damage. So I figure I can stay in, perhaps he'll switch because he doesn't want to be useless. So I figure I'll just stay in, whatever. I don't want to give that Bliss a chance to do anything. I can't let that thing live. So I Leech Seed again, predicting the switch. At least I think I do. God, I'm thinking about this for a long time. He switches to Bliss, and I did in fact get a Leech Seed on it, which was amazing. So now I know it wants to use aromatherapy, and now I'm going to go to Dugtrio and trap it. So I'm going to take the toss, and I'm going to take Life Orb damage, but I'm going to gain 90 HP back from the Leech Seed on that thing, which is amazing. He soft boils up, which I actually wasn't expecting. I was expecting aromatherapy, but I'm cool with that. Hell, I'm not going to complain. There's my little happy face, back to old times when I used to do that before I narrated. Anyway, I Quake it, and I'm actually surprised it did that much. I didn't think it could 2-hit KO. Cool, this thing can 2-hit KO. Anyway, you watch my HP go all the way back up, which is nice. He had a sad face, and then I finish it off. And since he didn't use aromatherapy, I think his Tentacruel is still asleep. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. That was my only hope of killing Bliss, and now I got it. So I can't Sucker Punch because I know it wants to sub. So I'm just going to go straight to my Blissey, because I can either soft boil it out, or I can use Shadow Ball on it. So that's cool. I have to use soft boil this turn because I don't want to die, and I want to see how much it will do. So I'll be at full HP, and then I'll get to watch it climb down. As ZMT says, make a sandwich, get a drink, pet the cat, feed the dog, whatever, and come back, and I see it did about 300 point. Did I say 300? Yeah, 300 points. 400? Gah, it's been like 3 years since I did math. Anyway, he subs up again, predicting me to do something. I'm not sure exactly what, but he did, trying to stall me out. And if he wants to keep doing that, so be it. I'm going to use Shadow Ball and get rid of his sub, and he can't stall me out then. So, little happy face. Even if he wanted to use Life Orb or Focus Punch with Life Orb, he'll end up killing himself. So I just Shadow Ball to finish it off, and then he's got a Sleeping Tentacruel, which is also going to get finished off. And that's the match, guys. It was really freaking fun, and as you can see, I don't have time for credits or anything like that. But thanks for watching, guys. Peace.